This is Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. Make the time to subscribe. Now let's pull back those sheets.
Can we talk about the relationships? Can we talk it over, see how we can build? Only you and I know that's the way it goes. In this big old bed, they talk it over, so talk it over. Can we talk it over? We can talk it over. Can we talk it over in bed? Talk it over. Can we talk it over? Can we talk it over? Oh, in bed.
Yo, it's your man Big O back for another episode of Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. And we can be found, Trish. I'm gonna go ahead, Trish. I'm bringing you in immediately because we can be found. I didn't know we were on all these platforms, but we can be found on talkitover.show, on
Yep.
Instagram, and on the web. And you can listen to us on, let them know, Trish.
So you can find us at talkitover.podbean.com. You can find us at talkitover.show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Player FM, Listen Notes, Stitcher, and Tune In. So all of those different platforms, you can tune in and listen to us.
All them places. All
Goddamn.
of them. So
Listen,
I'm gonna let y'all know who
All
that
of
is, throwing in his 2 cents in a second. But Trish, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
Listen, it's been a great day. It's rainy. It's rainy here. It's rainy there, I'm sure.
But you're gonna be gone in a little bit, so you're not even phased. You're gonna be in the
Damn.
sunny sky, the friendly skies, sun, sand, and beach.
Didn't I tell you my suitcase was packed like 3 weeks ago? I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
That's cool.
Not even
That's
ready
cool.
to go. Ready to go.
Ready
Now.
to go. That, yeah, just one syllable. One syllable.
Listen, that's
Ready
it.
to go. I hear you. Just don't stay too long, because then I'm gonna have to come and be ready to go to come get you. So get the authorities right. Let's hold on. Her visa expired 2 weeks ago. How is she still here? We need this one back. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in. We got some new faces and some
Mhm.
staples to the Talk It Over family. So let me go ahead and
Absolutely.
introduce the staples, and then I want to introduce the new faces as well. And just new faces, just know that when we get to the topic, it is generally custom that the new people have first go at it. So once we get to that point, just be ready, because you're going to be the voices we come to first. But without further ado, Brother Leon, how are you today?
I'm well.
back.
I'm well.
Always a pleasure to have you on.
Always, definitely. I'm glad to be here. This definitely seems to be a very interesting topic and should be very fun. I'm excited.
Nice. Great. All right. And Sister Najami, Bush Woman Company, how are you today?
I am blessed and highly favored. I am Najami Lezama, aka Bushwoman of Bushwoman's Conversations Project, personal development awareness life coaching program, and also working with Talk It Over Ginkgo Leaf Productions. We just did a video shoot yesterday, which was fantastic. Looking forward to seeing the finished product. And I am looking forward to this conversation because I have some juicy information that can count.
Ooh, nice. We definitely can't wait to hear that. All right, so let me bring in the new first time guest. And as we always say, Talk It Over family is constantly growing. And so for the first, yeah, Trish, you.
Well, actually, there's one more person here who's been here before.
Yeah.
Khadijah
Hassan.
Tou Tou.
Mhm.
Khadijah's been on with us before.
Okay. I
Yeah,
apologize.
Brother Hassan.
Oh,
Well, Hassan just got, yeah, Hassan's always here. Hassan's here when he's not here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get to that. So Khadijah,
All right.
let me apologize. I am so sorry. So Khadijah, okay. Trish, you go ahead and bring in the introduction. I already messed it up, so I'm gonna get quiet. Redeem myself later.
We also have Khadijah Tou Tou on here. She's been on at least 2, I think, other episodes. So Khadijah, tell the people a little bit about you. Get them to jog their memory, as well as Olin's. How about that?
Jog my memory. Yeah, everybody else is good. It's me that's messing up.
No, it's okay. What's up, everybody? My name is Khadijah Tou Tou, and I'm the podcast host of Entrance You. I'm a mindset coach and motivational speaker. And I teach mindset strategies for teachers, businesses, and schools on how to change their mind frame. And I teach international mindedness and allow people to understand a view outside of their own and outside of their own perspective.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the show and welcome back. Brother Hassan, I see you in the building. How are you today? Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, abundance to all. Yeah, I'm here. I'm
All right.
Hassan Booker. I'm an author, entrepreneur, survivalist, evolutionist, revolutionary,
Exactly.
all those things. Yeah, that's me.
Nice, nice. All right. So now, like I said, we have a new guest on, and we definitely want to give him a welcome. Brother Everlast, welcome to the Talk It Over family. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm fine, sir. How's everybody? Thanks for the invitation. You know, I've been looking forward to this, but I've been a very busy person. I appreciate it.
All right. So for the listeners, we always would like to let listeners know what you're into, where they can find you if you care to share. Give you a chance to promote anything that you are interested in or currently a part of that you would like listeners to know of.
Okay, well, I could just say that I'm a security consultant as a career. Kind of like took over on me in my journey of life, and I've been doing that for a while. Entrepreneur, a subcontract, corporate people, and VIPs. Also do training for other companies and organizations. I'm from the nation of gods and earths. That's my foundation. But I have learned to grow into understanding and took it to the level that knowledge is infinite. And I'm still at the stages where I'm still growing, but I'm tapped into my ancestors, and I'm very focused on that because I'm a and I appreciate always tapping in with other original people that's on the same plane. I admire the brother Hassan. He says he's a revolutionary because that's definitely the type of spirit that I come from my ancestors, my fathers and my uncles and all the people from back in the early 70s and things of that nature. I'm also a single parent, got a beautiful daughter. She's 11 years old. That's my heart and joy. And I'm here today to just build with you guys and see what we talking about.
Appreciate it. Welcome. And thank you for sharing that and being very open. That's what we're here. That's what we're all about at Talk It Over, is just speaking from everyone's individual journeys. Because like we said, Trish, none of us are subject matter experts, but everybody has, things that they can share that can help those who are on the journey of life currently. And just an aside note, I might need your services, Brother Everlast, to get some security to protect me from Trish when things get heated up in here. Trish comes for the throats, so I might need to be looking into that security service that you offering out there.
See, now you out here telling stories. I would never hurt a fly. All right, like y'all just out here starting trouble, Olin.
Okay,
yeah, get that cybersecurity going, huh?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Trish, let's go ahead and read really quickly from Brother Hassan's book, Success Inspirations 365. Yep, and let the people get their inspiration and motivation for the day, and then we're gonna go right into the topic.
Absolutely. So today on this beautiful 86th day of the year, today's success inspiration, which the book, let me back up. The book Success Inspirations 365 can be found on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and anywhere that books are sold. It is a awesome read. Definitely motivational if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration every day of the year. So today, on this 86th day, it's history tends to repeat itself, yet nothing is ever the same. It is a paradox, and everything constantly changes, yet everything is the same.
Nice.
So, little tidbit for your Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, whatever day you listen to this on, little gem there for you.
Beautiful. All right, so should we go ahead and bring in the topic, the one that's juicy, that Najami's got some juice, but Everlast is coming in hot. I know you got a story to tell, and Leon's gonna always be cracking the joke, so I know he's ready to hear him. So
I do. So today's podcast is failure to launch, the most common and biggest mistakes, first date mistakes that people make.
And before we went, you wanted to know what were mine, right?
I want to know
okay.
what some mistakes you've made and some things that you know are like that if a lady does to you, like this is it, I'm not dating her ever again.
So my thinking process was more along the lines of what Leon said before we went to break, with just some of the discourteousness of your person, right? Like definitely being on the phone all the time, right? Being late. Now, being late to me, 5-10 minutes, that's whatever. We in New York. Anything can happen, a train
time, baby.
So but once you start pushing 15, me personally, I'm kind of like, another big one for me is just not presenting yourself well. Like if you didn't even like put yourself together or care enough, like you just coming out like grooming. You just grooming, like you just come into a first date like in, I don't know, pajamas or something, or just just your streetwear. Yeah, you're making faces, but some people take that. They like, they gotta take me. They gotta take me how I am. And I'm like, but you didn't even
put, is a test. If I can get through this.
Right. You didn't even put any type of effort into this. Is like a first date, right? You think you that bad that you can just show up with no hair, no nothing. Like nothing. Like that to me is a huge like failure to launch, right?
But I thought that's what y'all like. Y'all like to see us in our all natural. I don't like all that makeup and stuff. That's what I thought.
First date, Trish.
Listen.
First date, you gonna try?
As I am.
Nah, I'm not taking you at all. I'm not taking you. Not taking you at all. I'll pass.
I'm tell you, this is for somebody else. You got the wrong person. This is the wrong table. I'm so sorry.
And then the last two. And this is just personal things. I don't think it's a failure to launch. It's just for me personally. I'm not sure it's a common thing at all. Well, one of them, like Leon was saying, not engaging. This is just one of my kind of vetting points, and it don't even have to be a first date. It's just like
in general,
common talking. Yeah, if I meet you and I speak to you and I'm asking you some questions about yourself and I never get any one of those questions back, I'm already gone. Like I don't need to know anything else. Like if I never receive a question, then I know like, all right, well, nothing against you, but I guess I'm not the person you're looking for right now.
Equally to that point, if you have somebody who is always asking questions about you, but constantly deflects their own, because that person is hiding.
Yeah.
Like, like, but enough about me. But you ain't said nothing. What you talking about?
Right. And then the last one, and this is just a personal, I don't think this is common. I think I might be on the outside because it's probably a common first date topic, but for me, it just rubs wrong, is, what do you think about marriage? I'm like, I just met you. Like the conversation, like I'm not even, my mind's not on that at all. I'm saying if we even have a connection to begin with. All right. And I do get it sometimes where people want to know, like, do you intend to get married? Or are you looking to get married? And my thing is, I'm looking to form a relationship before all of that. Like if I can't even have a relationship with you, then marriage is off the table regardless. And if I can't connect with you to have a relationship with you, then what are we even talking about? You're going to ask me that on the first date?
So I think that, I kind of feel like that goes back to what Khadijah said, because I feel like if we've been talking on the phone leading up to this first date, like I kind of have an idea about the personality and the person that I'm actually dealing with. And I probably like you enough to go out on this first date. So we've had other conversations. I'm assuming that this isn't the first conversation.
Well, I was assuming, because I'm like, it's a first date, and we haven't really had the time to talk. That's where I was thinking. But Najami, I know you were about to say something.
No, I was going to ask you, Ron, what made the relationship click that you're in right now, let's say on the first date, and how it has short synopsis, how it progressed to this far?
You said what clicked?
Relationship, because you said that your fiance, right?
Uh-huh.
So what made the first date click for you?
The ease, I guess, the ease of the conversation. Like it flowed very easily. There was hardly any hiccups, any tiffs, and just and that was, and it's not, oh, this is the first date, this is the person I'm gonna marry type thing. It wasn't like that. It was, just the ease and the mutual outlook perspective of life per se. And it's not identical, right? And on every front, I don't think we can ever have that because we're all different people. But just the mutual perspective, the lens that we see the world through. Right?
Compatibility, and there was a familiarity, and the way how you guys looked at things. You felt comfortable with her.
Right.
Because
Correct.
a vibe thing as well. It's a vibe thing. It's a want to share. I was talking to a guy recently, and the man talked about himself for almost a whole hour. I was just so flabbergasted, and I was laughing. So I said to him, I said, "Is there anything about me you would like to know?" And he thought himself. He was like, "Oh shit."
That's funny.
Whole hour.
That's
I was
funny.
like, wow.
You basically
you're a
said
good
our
one.
time here is done.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're a good one, Najami. You got through an hour of that.
Yo,
I would
for real.
half hour. I would have been making excuses like I got to go.
Nah, after about 20
because
minutes.
I was fascinated by how narcissistic he was, and I wanted to see how far he was gonna go.
It was a case study for you now at that
I
point.
give you plenty rope to let you hang yourself, So
Yeah.
I'm a person like that. I was like,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
So, I'm curious to know, after you asked him that question and he realized, like, what was his reaction? What was his response?
He was shocked. He was like, "Oh shit, I just been babbling." Well, the conversation never went any further than that, because after I said that, I never heard from him again, which was fine, right? Which is
No,
fine.
but like in that moment.
Oh, Leon, you froze up. Leon, say that one more time.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you
froze.
froze.
I said, but in that moment, did he ask you anything after you put him on the spot and made him realize it? No, nothing. Wow.
No.
Oh, okay.
He
was like, "Oh, you didn't want to hear about me?"
Okay, I guess we're done here.
No, he asked a minute question or so, but then he went right back into himself,
Damn.
He was like, "Oh, that's a good point," but anyway.
So when I was in military, I said, I went
yes, exactly. But I just want to just share something quickly here about a couple of things that could sabotage failure to launch. So if we start listening to our negative thoughts, our negative thinking conversations, where we think, like when we hear the other person's story, we start thinking, well, I'm not successful enough to support this person, or this person is high maintenance, or he looks like a king, or she looks like a queen. Does our fears about not being enough cause us to seek validation excessively, like becoming either we withdraw or become emotionally unavailable? Or it's like if you're in a relationship and you keep picking fights all the time, and you are not confident in who you are or accepting your own self. If we want to blame a relationship end, it's a real tangible thing. Another thing is practicing daily affirmation. So listening to your thoughts is one. Being aware of and questioning the thought. Am I thinking what I'm thinking is true? Also, practicing daily affirmations. Daily affirmations could think, I'm deserving of a great mate. I am connecting to the right partner who identify or connect with my standards, needs, and values, things like that. Also, considering therapy is considered to be an idea as well, where you can let go of some of these negative thoughts by talking to someone. That will help. And talking to your boo, talking to your sweetheart, letting your insecurities, being vulnerable enough in your relationship with your sweetheart. And you can say these vulnerabilities out loud, and then your partner can reassure that all the negative conversation is not true. So it's also developing more intimacy from that perspective as well. But we all have insecurities. So it's important for us to recognize when they are actually hurting us in a relationship, or ability to launch a relationship as well.
I want to add
drop the mic. Yes, please, Khadijah. I was definitely coming to you.
I like what you said in making that last point, because it reminds me of just like in that scariness, being able to like confrontation and how different people deal with that confrontation. Because like some people are going to be more, I would say, like passive aggressive, whereas others may be more direct. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So in that directness, or in that, passive aggressive, nature, or however they deal with it, I think also like forgiveness is key. And I think that's why it's so important to know yourself, because you have to be able to tell that person like what triggers you. So I'll give you another example of like one of the situations I had where I was being fearful, and I was being, like afraid of certain things. And I realized it started coming out in different ways, in like different conversations, it was coming out. And then we ended up having the conversation of, well, when you said this, it made me feel this way. And then I realized everything that he hit on was like, whoa, those were my insecurities coming out. But then also that triggered him into thinking a certain way in a certain thing. So I had to humble myself and completely apologize. I was like, whoa, I did not even realize, because I was unconsciously afraid. And I didn't realize, because when you meet someone where basically you're looking in the mirror, things go fast. You know what I mean? Like you're like, whoa, how did we're in space already? Like we didn't even, we thought we were on an airplane, but we were clearly on a rocket ship. So when things move that quickly, it's like, whoa, 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 like, oh my gosh. Hey Hassan. Like when you're moving that quickly, it just like goes into these different directions. But being able to know yourself, to know, hey, I'm afraid, or hey, I'm feeling some type of way, or hey, like this is something I need to deal with. But I noticed like that honesty, like what Tricia was saying earlier, that honesty is so important, because when you're able to have that vulnerability with that other person to say, this is how I feel, they might have strategies and techniques and be able to like hold your hand and walk you through that. Because if not, that relationship, you'll face it and deal with it in another relationship. So it's always good in bonding space, because you never know, that relationship might not work, but you guys could still be friends.
Yes,
Mm.
very,
Mm.
very true.
Oh wow, two powerful points back to back. The mic is smoking right now. I'm gonna defer to Hassan real quick, get him in here, because that I need to process a lot of what was just said, because it was so beautifully put and so very informative and on point. But yeah, Hassan, when you're ready, what are your thoughts on everything,
Well,
anything and everything?
well, this has been great. I really been enjoying just listening. Um, I just wanted to chime in a little, because uh, uh, because the subject matter is real relevant, and it's been relevant, for me and for everyone. Everyone has their own experiences, and uh, failure to launch, it often comes from, for me, everything is fine, meeting someone new and we chatted up a little bit until the person learns about me. And then often there's like an uncomfortability or insecurity, or, well, I'm just a manager, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. And when they say just, that means that, they're devaluing themselves comparatively, opposed to just being solid with their position. And that's usually an indication that that this could be an uncomfortable situation going forward, because the person isn't comfortable with themselves, right? So, and I can relate to that because that person used to be me. I recall, being younger and being insecure with who I was, and uh, uh, the ladies that I was attracted to, they usually were had more going on than me. So I thought, you know what I mean, because I'm looking at them, like big them and little me, opposed to me just looking at the value that I bring from the person I am. So, and growth and, time and, I'm just aging, our perspective is different. So I often can spot, the kind of person that will even be receptive to who I am, you know what I mean, and my vast experiences, the positive and negative. It's not all rosy, you know what I'm saying? I've been through some harsh things. So the harsh things also can be quite intimidating for someone. You know, it's like someone that's been incarcerated, stabbed, shot, you know, all those kind of things. I mean, that's not like regular, you know. And I understand that. So, you know, those are some of the challenges. So it's an interesting journey, you know, and not just with a relationship to dating, but relationship in general. So I often have to vent my conversations, you know what I'm saying, so that someone else isn't uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because I let it all out, it could be totally, it could blow a relationship. You know, if I'm dealing with somebody on a corporate level, I can't be telling them, you know, about my gangsterism and all that stuff. That's not gonna work. You know, so you know, damn, I had a brain block. I can't remember what the hell I was thinking about. So anyway,
but Brother Hassan, some would argue that while, you know, because that sounds kind of like what Brother Everlasting said earlier about, you know, being tactful, but you don't want to be so tactful that you're like withholding.
Yeah.
About
withholding
who you
or
really
censoring.
are.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so
so
just trying to find that balance, I think, is very important, you know?
I agree 1,000%, brother. It's like being your authentic self at the same time remaining tactful. So that's a balancing act as well.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
So I've gotten better with it. You know, I haven't perfected it. You know what I mean? But you know,
I feel you. I mean, it could be scary, but at the same time, you know, letting somebody know what your truth is, you know, and let them make that decision is, you know, I think that could be better in the long run.
No, I'm with you.
You know?
Also,
I think,
let me just add this one thing. Also, you know, it's kind of like, you know, administering, you know, a medicine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta dilute it a little bit.
Right.
It's still the medicine, but you're not giving it full strength. You're kind of like testing,
you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
What kind of effect that's gonna have. So I venture into that as well. You know what I mean? So you know, it's all in a process of discovery.
So I think both of y'all's points complement each other very well. It's about, you know, timing, knowing your audience, and being tactful when you do have to speak your truth, right? But Trish, any last thoughts before we get up out of here? Because I think Najami and Khadijah had some very powerful points.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, you know, we went through this whole thing and I didn't get to tell no stories. And Najami and Khadijah, y'all took the cake on this one. I love it.
Girl, we could edit it whatever we need to. Say your story.
Listen. Nah, y'all got enough stories with me. I know y'all know my first date stories. But
what about people who don't want to pay the bills when the check
really? Really? You gonna bring that up? So listen, that is like Khadijah said in the very beginning, I know my worth and I expect to be treated like a lady on a first date. That will guarantee you don't get a second date with me. Okay.
Yep, that's fair.
So and that's just for me personally. Like I really do expect it to be treated with respect and to be treated like a lady. And I will reciprocate as such. You know, but again, in these type of conversations, you know, we spend a lot of time talking about what we don't like, but what it all boils down to is communication. At some point in time, you have to communicate how you feel, what you expect going into this first date, you know, the type of restaurant you want to go to, what kind of dictate, or the type of activity you want to do, what kind of dictate the relationship, or the I feel like it will kind of dictate how the first date goes. Like if you say, you know, he asks you where you want to go and you tell him I want to go to a 4-star restaurant. If you show up in your pajamas, you dead wrong. Like, again, we hit sitting here talking about what we want and what we don't want. But if you're willing to settle for anything, then that's going to come into play as well. You know, if you're not very specific about what you want and what you need going into the first date, then the first date is not going to go well. And that's just my 2 cents. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. And I want to thank all of you guys, Khadijah, Najami, Hassan, of course, Leon. And real quick, what I want to let you guys know, actually, Trish, should we let them know what's coming up? We've been talking, we've been going back and forth about that. All right, so guys, Trish and I have, well, probably more me, because Trish is actually winning over here. But Trish has been getting a lot of fans lately, a lot of fans, a lot of love from the listeners, and I can't blame her. She's, you know, a lovely person, a lovely voice, and I'm honored to have her on as my co-host on here. However, if we're gonna be honest and be tactful and be real, Big O has not been feeling the love as much.
Yo,
And
he
I
feeling
gotta
some kind of way,
wonder,
y'all.
I'm feeling a little kind of way. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Trish been doing this for what, 2, 3, 4 months? I got a year in. I'm coming up on tenure, and y'all, I can't get no fans. So what we're thinking about doing is we're gonna have a Team O versus Team Trish, and I hope by my pleading, with that disclaimer that Trish already got enough fans that maybe I can get a few of you guys on Team O from jump before we actually hit off this little debate. So we haven't yet figured out how we're going to do the formatting of it, but just know that a battle of fans will be coming up fairly soon.
You're doing a fabulous job. You do a fabulous job. Everything in due time, my darling. I just want to say this that I have sabotaged relationships intentionally for them not to launch because it's a vibe thing. So I will say, I let people know, listen, I drink, I smoke, and I'm not in a rush to have sex. What do you think? I say that unless, then they scamper like roaches.
So you got a Staples easy button. You gotta.
And this is why we love Najami.
Yeah, you got.
Especially those overly Christian type of guys who expect me to go to church every Sunday.
Yeah. You got the abort button. That's awesome. You got the mission abort.
Big ass onk.
Right.
Burning incense.
So I want to thank the.
I do believe showing up dressed. I do believe presenting yourself properly when you meet someone for the first time. Like when you're eating food, you want a nice presentation. Don't show up in jacked up shoes. Listen, look, and don't be smelling funky either. Be your best version of yourself when you meet someone for the first time.
Can I insert something? Can I
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we got a special guest in today. Right. Brother Nah K.I. from Bed-Stuy is joining us. What's happening, brother?
Oh, just enjoying listening to the conversation. I actually had a question for Najami before you take the show out. So Najami, I mean, if you have those things, and no judgment, why would you go out with that person in the first place, right? So if you because for me, I would stop something like that before it starts, but that's me. So, but again, no judgment. I want to know like what the mindset would be to go out with a person that you already were like, okay, I'm gonna sabotage.
Hit abort.
She gonna get her food.
Because
she's hungry.
Because we can become friends. Because a lot of times a lot of men that's best for the dynamic of our relationship. We may not be good intimately, but we're damn good friends. Plus, if we can make money together, hell yeah. Shit.
Okay, so then I would state those things out front, right up front, like rather than because there's the friend lane and there's the business lane and then there's the lane where you want to do something with another person. Once again, no judgment, right? Just curious about it. And look, you all are a bright, very intelligent. I love listening to the conversation. And yeah, that is wild, right?
I'm just imagining like the waiter came, brought you the menu and whatnot, and she's like, oh, by the way, I think we're just really good friends. But I have the steak. And
look, you done paid the check already, right?
Right.
The check has been paid, and you're like, oh, by the way. Yeah. So look.
You're supposed to pay. If you're asking me to pay the Dutch, that ain't going to fly. Because I don't go Dutch or no first no.
Tricia has a story.
We already know my stories about
Tricia,
it. So.
Right, Tricia? Don't you have a story about that?
Listen.
I love it. So I'm gonna get back off. But I wanted to say that Toto, listen, I need to like re-listen to the podcast to even, like Olin said, even come close to responding to some of what you threw down. That was
Mike smoking.
Yeah, that was church. Yeah, that was the audio joint that I need to sit back and really listen to. But I really appreciate you all. And thank you for your input, your savory, transparent input. I know the audience, our listeners really appreciate that. So I want to thank you all. once again, and I'm out. So go ahead, continue to do your thing, Olin and Tricia.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna come up with some way that we can get all our fans to kind of, you know, show love to their favorite host, co-host, whatever, and favorite voice. And you know, I'm not looking for a huge win, but I am looking to get some fans over here. I need some validation. You know, the ego has been taking a couple of hits with Trish getting all these fans. She got her own show with the Love Corner, which I'm going to make a guest appearance. Maybe I pull some fans from that. You can kind of siphon
look, he trying to
a little bit. Yeah, hey, you never know. But yeah, you can take Leon. Leon can be on your team. I'm
Oh, damn.
You can go ahead.
Come
on,
we're gonna get the draft.
You know what?
Okay.
Yo, Trish, we're about to kill him. I don't care what the subject is. We killing him. Don't do that to me, oh.
Nah, you know how we. You know how we.
You can't even take him back now. He don't even want to be on.
Oh, see, she's getting scared now. She's getting scared. She want all the help she can get. That's cool. That's how we just. That's how we just. That's how we
know
just.
Somebody after 10 years.
So, but thank all of you guys, and this has been wonderful. Definitely a great topic. Definitely worth revisiting. And Brother Leon, appreciate you being on as always. Sister Najami, Khadijah, Brother Hassan, thank you all. Trish, I'm gonna miss you when you go away to, you know, Bermuda, Bahamas.
I'll bring you back something. Don't worry.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. Better not be a t-shirt either.
It's gonna be a t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
And the shot glass.
And the shot glass.
You can't forget that.
Just bring back some rum. That's all I want.
All right. Well, listen.
All right. So this has been another successful taping, another successful episode. So in the words of K.I., slow motion.
Peace.
Right, peace.
Amazing.
You've been listening to Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. We hope you got what you needed. Make sure you subscribe. Holla at you next week.